Yeah, that was Kevin Cronin with Riding the Storm Out. First song we heard tonight was Roll with the Changes, both off the same album, live at Moondance Jam, which I assume was a new
Hey, man,
album.
thank you.
Great.
This guy can play a little guitar.
No, I know.
I'm
Absolutely.
serious.
Yeah, it is.
Usually a football player says, "Can I try your guitar?" And I'm like, "Oh, geez, here
I
we
think
go."
there's an El Cabana with it.
Yeah, but no, you know.
Yeah, well,
you're
he
being
plays in a
kind.
band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Right.
Kind of.
but
I've tried.
He
It's
really
fun.
is. He really is humble. No, he really is humble about it. It's funny to see him humble about that because he picks up a guitar and he just starts playing.
Yeah. I mean, most athletes are like, let me see him. I'll put I taught Kurt Rambis guitar lessons a long
Did
time
you
ago.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In LA.
Oh, yeah.
And Kurt was a great guy.
Big hands. I mean,
Yeah,
that's what
big
you need,
hands.
right?
But it was, it was like, okay, my first finger goes here, my second finger. But you
Well,
picked it right up, man. That's awesome.
Thanks. Amazing watching you.
You're better than Kurt Rambis.
Yes.
There you go.
Thank you.
Now, would,
it was thrilling to me because I was asking him about his guitar and he was like, yeah, here, give it a try.
Right.
And I just felt like, oh my gosh.
Well,
this is crazy.
The Kurt Rambis thing sort of leads me into my first question. You know, in the '80s, you guys are living the life probably, right? You know, you're in LA, you're a huge band. The Lakers are asking you for guitar lessons. I mean, what is it like? You know, being one of the super bands of the '80s. You came through it. Were there any dark times? Was it all happy? You seem like a very content guy. You do, and I envy that because a lot of people come through this business nuts, and you seem like a normal, happy guy.
Yeah, well, I feel all right. You know,
Yeah.
We, the '80s were. It was insane. It was we were at every Laker game because back in those days you couldn't, if you wanted to see a home game, you had to go down to the Forum.
That's true.
So we were huge Laker fans.
Right,
We had a lot of fun with those guys. In fact, my claim to fame, we did a music video once, and it was a basketball themed.
I remember
thing,
that. I think. Yeah, right.
So I had the ball, and I'm if I were a good athlete, I wouldn't have started taking guitar lessons. Right? So, but in my mind, I was a point guard, right? And so I had the ball, and they were filming, and they didn't tell me what was going to happen. So I was right around the three-point line, and I go up to shoot, and as I let go of the ball, I heard a sound that just scared me. It was the loudest thing, the most frightening thing I'd ever heard in my life. And Michael Cooper, you remember Michael Cooper?
Oh, yeah, Coop.
Coop came on and out of nowhere blocked my shot, just swatted it with all. I mean, it was.
Well, Cooper was one of the best defensive players in the league, from what I remember. So he could handle birds. So I'm sure you weren't a challenge.
I wouldn't go that far, Artie. I mean.
Now, so what would you call your heyday with the band? What do you think? What was it? Mid '80s?
It was with the Showtime Lakers and REO Speedwagon. It was the same time. It was the late '70s through the kind of the mid to late '80s.
Now, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Chicago.
Now, was the whole band from Chicago?
Band got together in Illinois, down in Champaign on campus.
Were you like
1967.
Yeah, that was before. I wasn't in the band in 1967.
But it was a college band then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Neil and Alan, the original two guys, got together. They were just college roommates, and they were like, "Oh, you play drums? Oh, you play accordion? Let's start a band." And
So take me through that.
The original REO
bit.
played polkas. It wasn't the same.
Whoa.
No, I'm kidding.
So when did you come in? When did you get to?
I swear, I got in the band on a total. I mean, I don't like to use the word scam, but it kind of was.
It's all right. This is America. You can do that. What the hell?
I was trying to find a guitar player and a bass player for my band, so I put flyers all over town, and I called it the Musicians Referral Service.
Right.
And it was kind of an altruistic thing. I was going to find homes for musicians that were looking for bands, and I was going to help bands that were looking for musicians.
Really?
It sounded like a really good idea. And meanwhile, I'd get the cream of the crop for myself, right?
Okay. So it was a selfish thing.
It was very selfish.
It was altruistic and selfish.
Both, yeah. So, but after about a couple of weeks, I realized that everybody was calling in with these ridiculous stories about how good they were,
Yeah.
and I had no way of screening them. And after about 3 weeks, I was like, I'm so over this.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It was a nightmare.
All right.
So I get a phone call one day, and of course, here's a guy. Oh yeah, I got a rock band. We got one album out. We got a record deal with Epic Records. We're touring all over the Midwest. We're gonna be opening for Black Oak, Arkansas, on this tour coming up. We're looking for a singer. I'm like, dude, you don't understand. Everybody who calls is opening up for, the Grand Funk Railroad, whatever.
Right.
Finally, I said, you got to tell me the name of your band or I can't help you. So guy goes, well, it's REO Speedwagon. And I'm like, I've heard that. The name was just kind of bubbling around. So I'm like, you know what, buddy? I got just the singer for you. He's in my whole huge, group of lead singers that I represent here at the Musicians Referral Service. I've got somebody special for you.
Of course. So
Wow.
now take us through that.
Self-referral.
So what year is that you're talking?
72.
Okay, so now take us through that journey of how do you get to from that moment to a big huge band where you're playing arenas,
Yeah, we played the Busch Stadium in St. Louis, the old Busch Stadium in
Right.
St. Louis, one night, and then 2 nights later we'd be a bar in Omaha. We just for some reason
weird.
St. Louis just
Right.
like latched on to us, man, and so we got this feeling that, well, if we can do it, if we can do it there, why can't we do it someplace else, right? So, but every record we made. The High Fidelity record, which was our big,
Right.
multi-million,
Big hit.
that was our 11th album. So
Wow.
yeah,
Oh my.
yeah.
So you guys are like Fleetwood Mac in that sense. You ever see a documentary on Fleetwood? Rumors was their 16th record. I saw an amazing documentary on them.
Yeah.
And so you had a similar thing where you put out a lot of. I mean, assume you love the music, great music, and then what do you think makes just the one resonate with fans? Where is it marketing? Is it have nothing to do with the creative process? Is it just you got better? Guys behind it, or what?
Yeah.
what
Did
do
you know that those songs were just special? That they would kind of ring for the masses?
There was
when you
something,
recorded that?
we were all kind of going through the same, we had been touring for years. The record company was always just about to drop us, so we were always like hanging on by a thread, we were always one.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah. And but at that time, man, everybody's relationships were falling apart, and and the record company was about to drop us. We were like,
Right.
we were down. We
Right.
were like, okay, we're going to give this one more shot, and all of our home lives were gone. So it kind of brought
Wow.
the band. We were tight, and we were
Yeah.
all writing about the same type of thing, and high infidelity. Hello,
Right.
So people use "Keep on Loving You" for their wedding song,
Yeah,
right? And
I know.
I think to myself, dude, did you listen to the lyric and the verses of this thing?
No,
So
people,
it was-
a lot of songs like that don't get the irony of certain songs,
Right,
or sometimes you don't listen to the lyrics, right?
Right.
It's weird, but no, it hit, and you make it, and now, do you like doing solo stuff? Do you like it?
I like playing, man.
Right.
I like
It's like-
playing anywhere,
right, yeah.
But what I just did there for you, that's just me kind of screwing
Having
around.
fun,
I mean,
right.
that's what the songs sound like before the band gets a hold of them.
Yeah.
The Moondance Jam thing, that's the whole band in front of like 30,000
Great,
people
man.
in Minnesota a couple years ago. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Just,
So is that just coming out now? Then?
yeah.
Record?
We took us a couple years to like wrangle the rights of it, away so that we could actually release it. It was.
Who owns the rights? You guys do it at your songs. Who owns the rights to that?
Yeah, I don't know.
AG or Live Nation.
Someone other than
Right,
us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Well, go ahead. Okay.
Yeah. So you guys, you've got Chicago, Styx, 38 Special, Kansas, Cheap Trick.
Yeah.
All kind of from the same area, right?
Yeah,
Is there like serious rivalry there through the years?
Back in the day, they're kind of nowadays. I mean, Sticks
cares?
are like our best buddies.
Right.
We
Everybody's
tour with them
rich and you're happy, right?
Everybody's, relatively happy. At least.
But was it crazy back in the day? I mean, competition. You have to
There
kind of
was-
outshine everyone else.
There was some competition, and even to this day, when we tour with Styx, those guys, they're one of the best bands you'll ever hear live. And
Never saw them live.
I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, go see them. They're better now than than they ever were. In my,
You know,
in my
I saw
opinion.
you guys. I was in the 9th grade, 1982. I saw
No
you-
way.
I did, yeah, at the Burn Arena in the Meadowlands.
Wow, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay.
You know,
about
so
the-
I go way back.
What about the story of an airplane and a semi-automatic or an automatic machine gun?
Oh, you mean
or
you're talking
something?
about the flying tuna?
I don't know. I heard you have a story about an airplane and a machine gun.
Well, you know, I don't know if it's my best.
Who doesn't?
Sounds a little incongruous.
Yeah. No, but Artie and I were talking before. We were talking about how, you know, we've been touring a long time, and I was saying how I still kind of I really do enjoy.
Right,
I miss
right.
my wife and kids and everything,
Sure.
but I like being out there doing it. And you were saying how, you know, stand up gets. But what I've been doing lately, and I love singing the songs, but I've been working a little, like. I started just talking about what happened to me during the day, like
Right.
about halfway through the tour, and I started getting a couple of laughs.
Starts telling stories on stage. Yeah.
Dude.
It's fun, right?
I mean, you know, the lighters go up when I start, you know,
Yeah,
time
yeah.
for me to fly.
Yeah.
But when you get a laugh, I mean, you want another laugh. That's all
Yeah.
there is to
No,
it,
you
man. I
do.
can see how it gets. It's like
addictive.
It's,
It is.
It's extremely. It's
Right.
way better than. It's the best thing, man. It's just.
Well, I'll
it's
tell you, you know,
awesome.
I wish I could relate to the saying in the middle of my act, I can just sing a hit song.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I would love that. So you got the best of both worlds, brother. Enjoy it. That's what, and it's just stories about your day you find, right? You're just like, yeah.
Yeah, that's
people
where it
relate
started.
to it. That's what they
where it
like to.
started. So we were on the road, and we got into town, and Gladys Knight was playing across the street, and a couple of us went over there, and you think if you see Gladys Knight, if you see Huey Lewis, you're going to get the news, right?
Yeah, and where are the Pips?
Yeah, and so I'm thinking I'm going to see Gladys Knight. Where are the Pips? You
Yeah.
know, and I thought, and the Pips weren't there. There was no Pips. She was Pipless. I got a laugh. I said this on stage.
Very nice.
You know.
Yeah, that's
And I
That's
was
fun.
like, okay.
I'm going to use that. I might steal it from you.
Yeah, you got it. And
wow.
Well, listen, the new album is a live album, live at Moon Dance Jam. And the tunes we heard tonight were Roll with the Changes and Riding the Storm Out. Thanks so much for coming here.
hey, Artie,
I
good
really
to
appreciate
be
it.
here. Good
Yeah.
to meet you. Good to, and afterwards, I'll tell you the
Great.
story about the machine gun in the airplane.
Okay.
It's too long. We would have gone over.
That's
it, you know?
all right. Hey, listen, man, what am I going to do? We're going to tell scores? Or I'd rather, the great Kevin Cronin. Check him out. Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.
Back after this.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.